That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. Let's see if I can fix this RSC live stream on Facebook before. Hey, happy. Thank you, Jared. I still can't get.
What's wrong?
I can't get into Facebook through XSplit. I'm not worried about it. I'll do it later. Which I said, what I said last week. Birthday, let's get them drunk. 2 more days. Bum, bum, bum.
So were you at the wedding this weekend, Brian, or?
It was Monday.
It was Monday.
Brittany, my sister-in-law,
Yeah.
got married. And sorry about that, diecast. I know that you had intentions. But yeah, so she had a wedding on Monday, which is kind of funny. My 9-year-old told her teachers, "Okay, I'm going to a wedding on Monday," and the teacher's like, "Sure, I believe you." Okay. Bum, 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 bum. I've got another wedding on Saturday, which is Kim's, I want to say 8-year-old cousin. She's in her 20s now, but in my mind, she's still 8.
Oh,
it's one of those things where
that's weird. That is a true Southern wedding right there.
It's 16 in North Carolina, I think. Though my uncle, this was years before I was born. Apparently, my uncle got married at 14. Both parties signed off on it, and it was a catastrophe, as you would imagine.
Yeah.
If you went to a wedding for an 8-year-old, I think we'd need to call some people. Yeah, she's like 22, but in my mind, she's 8, which is when I, first met her. It just doesn't feel like she's an adult at this point, but.
Like, someone in the chat says, Don's the self-regenerating dynamite. He blows up and blows again and again.
I like thinking of Don being he can only do the trick once.
It all depends on what diecast says.
Yeah, that's true. Don, more realistically, though, he has the self-regenerating dynamite. But
or what diecast fails to record.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we've seen both sides of that coin, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One of them took place in the backseat of my car, which was the unfortunate part.
Oh, that's right.
Chris, could you add a little more context to that, please?
No. I mean...
that is wonderful.
I could, but I won't.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Okay, since we're in pre-show, let me ask you guys this. Since I have probably one chance to show my fiance something from TOS, I'm going to do Doomsday Machine because I think
I was thinking about that, Don. Honestly,
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of action. The gentleman that plays Decker gives a really hauntingly good performance on that the kind of captain or the commander and that kind of thing, Commodore. Everyone gets kind of like the dynamic with Spock on the bridge when Decker's in charge and everything else.
Don, I love Star Trek and I love you and your family. And I love pooping on things that you say. And I was
really?
I was really ready to poop on that. And I put a lot of thought into it. And Don, I think that's the right episode to do.
I saw someone else suggest when you tweeted this City on the Edge of Forever, which
it's my favorite episode.
The thing with that, it's misleading.
Exactly. It's
because Star Trek is never that good again. Original series is never that good again.
In my mind, it's my favorite episode of Star Trek, period. I still think it's the best episode of Star Trek ever, which is sad because it was 50 years ago, almost. But yeah, I love the City on the Edge of Forever, but it is not indicative of what Star Trek is.
No, that's why I suggested what I did, which was either Spock's brain or I think the Savage Curtain is the one with Abraham Lincoln.
Well, the thing is, the reason this all came up is she inadvertently, due to her lack of knowledge, got Scotty and Spock mixed up. And Scotty is my favorite character from TOS. And
he's a good one.
Yeah, he is my favorite character from the original series. So I'm thinking if I've got one chance to get her at least interested in it for like in 45 minutes at once, I need something that's more of an ensemble piece. And City on the Edge of the Forever is very Kirk, Spock, McCoy. You don't get a lot of the other
in
people.
that sense, it's not exactly what the original series is, but it's definitely what the movies are. The movies are
I think focused on Kirk, Spock, McCoy is actually more genuinely representative of what most of original series Star Trek gives you in any given episode.
Yeah, I feel like the original series does a better job of focusing or fitting in the other characters than the movies do. But yeah, God, that episode is so great. But yeah, she'll be disappointed.
Alternately, how about the naked time?
That's an interesting one.
I mean, I see. Here's the thing: I can't remember the name. I remember the episode.
Then you could move on to the Next Generation show or the Naked Now.
Yeah. I was thinking about something fun like Trouble with Tribbles, or the one with Alice and the Rabbit.
The others, no, the
first one,
Shore Leave.
Shore Leave. Yeah, I was thinking about Shore Leave.
I get Shore Leave and the Naked Time confused.
Yeah, and it's just that
just in the sense that like the Naked Time starts out with Shore Leave, right? And that's what leads everything to.
No,
is it not?
The Naked Time starts out with them going to an outpost on a planet that's about to collapse.
Okay, so
there was no Shore Leave involved in the Naked Time.
It's going to another planet. You're right. It's not Shore Leave. It's an away mission.
Different.
It's an away
very
mission.
Different from Shore Leave.
It's an away mission.
I mean, there's good episodes I like the Menagerie. Not one of my favorites, but I do like the episode. I kind of like the one with Lazarus. I kind of like that one.
The Alternative Factor.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if I've got one really good shot that just to get her show you an ensemble piece, I would love to let her watch Wrath of Khan, because I think if you could watch one,
that's the high water mark of Star Trek. First. Yeah, it's the high water mark of Star Trek, period, and it's the high water mark of American space fantasy opera stuff.
I'm just saying
Space Seed first.
Yeah.
It was just sci-fi really isn't her thing. So that's just what I kind of wanted to show her some of my favorites. So that way we can have something to discuss, or if she has any questions, I can answer.
Just to irritate people watching, but it's still true. I was reading an article today saying that the Genesis trilogy of Star Trek is on par with the Star Wars trilogy, and I'm like, no, it's substantially better. It's the Star Trek 2 through 4 are substantially better in total than Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Even 3 is not that weak of a movie. It's the weakest of those 3 movies.
Those 3. Yeah. But Star Wars Wrath of Khan is Wrath of Khan is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love Wrath of Khan. But
and so is The Voyage Home.
I love The Voyage. I mean, yes, but I'm just saying, showing her that to start off, maybe that she might find the characterization compelling, and that she might want to watch more of it.
Well, I'm hoping there's stuff that she wants me to watch of hers and stuff that So now that we have good internet, and now that we have all that, we can do all that now. I would like to show her later on, like my favorite episodes of Next Gen, which will be Darmok and Yesterday's Enterprise.
You're gonna lose her when you get to Voyager, though.
I'm just going to show her Brida Chaotica. That's all I'm going to show her.
Yeah, you're gonna lose her, Don.
Spencer's like Empire's better than all 3.
Episode.
Empire's not even that great of a movie. It's just the best of the original trilogy.
No, I think the Star Wars, the original 3 Star Wars movies are good. I mean, Return of the Jedi,
it's crap.
But the Star Trek movies are better.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go back and I'll rewatch a Star Trek movie a lot more at a drop of a hat than I will do anything with Star Wars.
So yeah,
and again, people think I'm kidding when I say this. I lived through Power of the Force, that 90s resurgence, and then it rolled right into the prequels, and it was just this non-stop deluge of
Yeah, and
I just got so sick of it.
but I still love episodes 4, 5, and 6.
I love. I mean, I do. So here's it's like Transformers the movie. I love Transformers the movie. It's not a good movie. Star Wars. I was floored when I saw that it was like in the top 11 of AFI's top 100 American movies. I'm like,
Well, now here's the thing. I prefer Star Wars over Empire. I just Empire feels
Empire's
like
a downer.
Empire feels like it's a very movie 2 of 3.
it is
It's
a
sort
movie
of
2 of 3.
But it's really good at being movie 2 of 3.
It defined being movie 2 of 3.
Well, it's like Indiana Jones. It's like I would rather watch
There
Last
is no movie
Crusade.
2.
Last Crusade or the first one.
There's no movie
I
2
do
in
not
Indiana
like
Jones.
the Doom.
They
Temple
never
of-
made 2 Indiana Jones movies,
Yeah.
Don.
Yeah, it's a shame. Temple of Doom has like the most catchy title of those movies, but it's the one that's the least interesting to watch.
It sucks.
It just it doesn't feel like it belongs in that trilogy.
The first 5
And-
minutes belong in the trilogy.
Yeah. And if they had made a fourth one, that would have been nice. But they
I
didn't.
disagree that the first 5 minutes belong in there. The first time I watched Temple of Doom, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I thought I was watching an Indiana Jones movie.
Okay, Paladin, you're just being Paladin now.
Yeah, well, he does that.
Okay. Paladin said Last Jedi is better than Empire. No, I don't like Last Jedi that much. I don't like the last 2 movies.
I will defend the Last Jedi against
defend it.
most criticisms. I have a lot of problems with the Last Jedi, but
Oh,
there's
yeah.
also a lot of
There's stuff that I like in
love
it.
the Last
There's stuff
Jedi.
that I like in it. There's nothing that I like in The Rise of Skywalker. There's basically
Well, see, I can't really comment on anything Star Wars other than the last movie I saw in theaters was the Clone Wars animated movie, and that was it.
so.
Oh,
But
neat.
Wow.
Frank said that Rogue One is better than Empire. I would probably agree with that.
I hated Rogue One.
I think Rogue One is excellent.
Rogue One's a pretty good Gundam movie from the bits I saw of it.
Is that the one where the General Lady Picard maneuvers the Superstar Destroyer?
Yeah,
That's Last
But
Jedi.
basically,
That's the Last
basically,
Jedi.
yeah, okay. Basically, she just warp factors right through the.
yeah,
damn
she did the thing Riker tried to do to the Borg cube, but she actually does it.
Wait, what are we saying? Sorry, I was reading Discord.
When General Holdo light speeds through Snoke.
Oh yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
I mean,
either.
that
I mean,
was
it was-
visually cool.
when I've
It was
seen
just
that,
like
it's-
inconsistent with everything in Star Wars before it, basically.
So the thing that gets me about the Last Jedi is when
That
they're
whole
dropping.
casino
they
planet thing?
clearly had nothing for anybody but Rey to do, so they're just like side
Yeah.
quest.
Yeah, but the stuff with what Rose in the beginning, like dropping bombs and everything.
Her sister.
Her sister, yeah, like you don't drop bombs from space. I mean, you could push them. Like if you'd have to assume the mechanism that that the
Well,
thing.
there was gravity in the ship. I mean, they'll start in motion and continue.
Okay, but then you're getting into this whole metaphysics thing. Like, if there's gravity in the ship and that force is what drops the bomb out of the ship, technically the gravity in the ship is propelling the bomb out of the ship. So,
if propelling it would work,
it's all a frame of reference thing.
it's
Yeah,
literally frame of reference. That's exactly right.
I just am upset with the fact that they wrote Poe stupid enough to waste their entire freaking fleet to destroy one ship.
Poe is an idiot. He is the villain of that movie. Poe is the villain of Last Jedi. Yeah.
I think the best thing for me in Last Jedi was the throne room fight.
So
yeah.
good. So good.
That was really cool.
Is that the one where she takes the lightsaber and kills Snoke with the lightsaber sitting there? Like,
Yeah.
Is that okay? Well, it's like I mentioned before. That whole thing was nothing but a bunch of Snoke and mirrors.
Oh God, this isn't obviously this pre-show. If people never watched before, we talk about whatever we want to talk about before the show starts at 8:30. So the thing, I feel like I need to say that because it's like everybody's first episode. The thing that really bugged me about Last Jedi to begin with, and I am not a J.J. Abrams fan. You can go back and read my thoughts on Star Trek 2009 and know that I ain't no J.J. Abrams fan. But it just they intentionally go out of their way to poop on almost everything he does, and it just feels like mean-spirited.
Yeah,
and it
I
feels
get
and it's worse when J.J. Abrams goes back and does the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like, well, my best friend Fred. He's one of my oldest friends. He loves the Clone Wars series. I gave up after the first
Tartakovsky one or the other one.
that one and the one
That's the only one I've watched, and I thought it was awesome when it was new.
yeah. Well, I mean, no, it's the new one. The new one that was picking up after the movie and stuff. And he tells me this, and I try to get interested for his sake, but it's like, okay, this is great, but we know about Order 66. We know what happens. It's like the Titanic. No matter how much stuff they put in between the boat sails and the boat sinks, no matter how great all that is, the boat still sinks.
I still find stories about the Titanic interesting, though. I can't say the same for the Clone Wars and Star Wars.
I mean, yeah, as long as you accept that the Titanic is just a setting to tell a story within, and that it's not about the story of the ship itself, you can do all kinds of stuff with the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's the same as making a World War II movie. We all
You know,
know
I'm
what
kinda
happens.
waiting-
It's what happens during that happening that matters.
I'm kind of waiting for them to do a movie, but it's from the iceberg's point of view.
See, the thing with the World War II movie is it's about the real World War II is the friends we made along the way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi in the theater, but like it's not like I can't see that over half of The Last Jedi is not that great of a movie.
I laughed all the way through The Rise of Skywalker.
It just
I've still never watched that movie once.
I'm just so burned out on. I mean, that's why I don't care about Star Wars anymore. I'm just so burned out on and I'm not saying this about anybody in our chat. It's just the fan base and the fighting and I just can't. And again, the fatigue from living through Power of the Fourth and stuff. It's just been a nonstop ride since then.
There is some neat stuff in the Rise of Skywalker, but overall, yeah.
So the thing I like that I hate and like at the same time, when like Ben Solo returns,
I hated it.
I hate it. Oh, no. I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. But like, if it's almost like he's Ben Solo uninterrupted, like if Ben Solo had progressed. If like progressed from you never became Kylo Ren, just like his mannerisms and everything change, I think that's kind of interesting. In a sense, he's almost like a 70s action hero style character in a way, compared to
like he's trying to be himself instead of trying to be Darth Vader.
Yes, or he's trying to be a Han or somebody like that instead of or Indiana Jones instead of being, Darth Vader. Which I kind of like that. That's an interesting choice to me because the easiest thing to do would have just been have him be, a non-emo, Kylo Ren.
I'll, switching gears just a little bit. I don't know about Chris and the rest of y'all, but I am really cautiously looking forward to the new Babylon 5.
I don't care.
I know. I'm hoping, Brian, you'll give it a shot since you're.
Not since this reboot. I hate reboots.
But I mean,
I'd rather watch the original.
I mean, that's the first thing in a long time that I've really. It's like I was all hyped up for the new Galactica a couple years ago. Well,
it's supposed to 15 years ago, 16. It was supposed to be pretty good, wasn't it?
I couldn't watch it. It didn't feel right. It did not feel.
It was a post 9/11 deal, wasn't it?
It felt like the West Wing in space.
That's yeah. What about V, Don? Did you watch V, the remake of that?
I watched the hell out of V. I watched V just, I watched V. I mean, there's been a lot of sci-fi shows, the oddball stuff like The Invisible Man when it was on Sci-Fi. I really enjoyed that.
I think that started as a syndicated thing, didn't it?
I can't remember. It's been too long. But I'm just so burned out on getting involved with stuff and then it crashing and burning or not getting finished. Or it's just after as long as I've been involved with the fandoms and the pop culture zeitgeist, after a while I'm just tired, you know.
Okay, so Don, my take on the remake Babylon 5 thing is it's complex, and I'll try to explain it as concisely as I can. Unless JMS's mindset about things has changed substantially since, say, 1999, 2000-ish, what I completely envision happening is that they will produce one season of New Babylon 5. CW, which is the network it's going to be on, is going to start. They're going to look at the ratings, and they're not going to be like as satisfied as they could be. They're going to start trying to meddle in it. JMS is going to give them both middle fingers at once, and my way or the highway, and leave. And either they're going to bring in another showrunner, and it's not going to be Babylon 5 anymore in any sense of the word, or it's just going to end right there. Like, the reason Crusade only got 13 episodes produced and not even aired initially, all of the episodes, was because TNT, after being really hands off with the season of Babylon 5 they backed and ran, decided to get really handsy with the production of Crusade, and he was not having any of that.
They could bring in
Yeah,
Rick Berman.
I remember that.
What,
They
Brian?
could bring in Rick Berman.
The sound of my spirit leaving my body. No, your cautious optimism is a lot more than I'm willing to put into this right now, Don, just because I don't see this having a long future in any meaningful sense.
Well, I'm looking at it as far as not really the outside world ending it prematurely. There's always that. The ratings aren't there, merchandise sales aren't there. How many good shows have we lost on CN because they weren't getting enough toy money from the manufacturers?
Yeah, although like what the CW would be wanting from this would be more streaming and home media sales, so that's kind of a different area. But
right.
it's also the problem of the world Babylon 5 originally portrayed in the original version is basically the world we live in now, except with spaceships. And I don't think that's going to be something that's going to resonate with the audience the right way. Because, like, in the 90s, when Babylon 5 was basically telling the society we live in right now, it was, this typical sci-fi cautionary tale, but there's optimism at the end of it. No one has optimism anymore,
we don't. Hey, real quick, since we're not talking about this on the show because we don't talk about this, but I guess. But pre-show, the Inferno panel or photo that we saw,
the supposed slideshow leak. Yeah,
I mean, fake. It looks super. It looked like if I were to fake a screenshot or a picture from that, it would look just like that. Like the placement of the Family Dollar. Like, now that we know that like the leak was coming from the Family Dollar guy, another one popped up. The likelihood of that seems extremely low to me, because if that guy has been the source for a while of the leaks. So just from that alone, I'm, I have my doubts. But does anybody else have any feel for that?
If I had faked that, it would have been better than what someone posted.
But because
I would have looked at that Metroplex leak and tried, substantially to match one for one every aspect of that visual presentation for consistency. Also, I probably would have worked a little bit harder to, obviously you have to use an existing source image for whatever you're purporting is a leak, but I would have tried harder to also, doctor that to make it not so readily identifiable as something pre-existing. Like, if I was the kind of person who wanted to make fake leaks of stuff, I would be dangerous, is what I'm saying.
It just seems highly suspect. I haven't heard anything specifically about that from anybody, so. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was fake. The image of Inferno was from, I think, like a fan animation that's on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that on lunch break. Like, some Inferno does a video on TikTok.
Oh, so apparently it was already faked. Somebody, I didn't realize it came out as a fake. I mean, it just seemed like an obvious fake to me.
I think it was debunked within like 20 or 30 minutes of being originally posted.
Yeah.
Which didn't stop it from making the rounds, obviously, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons we don't, one, report on that stuff, but two, I mean, I don't want to report something as real and then, have to take it back.
Even even when I was doing the stuff for T-Formers, I tried to, do my backtracking and research to just kind of, close any loops that might be there where that could have been a fake thing.
But
yeah, this probably would not have passed scrutiny.
Yeah, but even without, again, the photo of Inferno, just, I would have, I mean, it just seemed fake to me. Just, again, the use of the Family
use of the
Dollar
Family
guys
Dollar thing made it less plausible, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I can't see them calling it Inferno again.
Well, I mean, it's going to be Inferno because there's not going to be another Inferno on the shelf for that product year.
Well, that's true, but they can always
just like
always
we had Scorponok 2 years in a row, but they're different Scorponoks and they didn't technically overlap.
I just figured they would use that as an excuse to use Scavenger to keep the trademark on that name, and that way it would still be like an homage to the Transmetal Scavenger, but we know it's Inferno. Like Slug is Slag, we know that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to do that unless they have like a specific trademark thing that they can't use it.
Yeah.
They're not going to avoid using a legacy name just to preserve some other legacy name where if they wanted to do that, they could just like make a core class Constructicon.
Yeah.
Just as a name grab. Something along that line.
Okay, are we good?
There's better ways than renaming a fire ant, Don, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me start a new recording here. Right there. New recording. New recording of video. New recording right there. I'm good. Let's start. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 748. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, I have in the command center, Mr. John DeLuna.
Yo, what's up?
You need a giant map of the world behind you.
Yeah, mission control.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
I need
like
an
NORAD.
LED. I need an LED light in this Unicron Maw is what I need right behind
No,
me.
what you need, what you need is like the mask thing, like a mask display, like your Matt Tracker in the Mask Command Center.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's also Dawn.
What you need to do. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Dawn and Chris.
I was just saying that. Hello, John. What you need is like a string of the LED lights that have like the blinking and chasing patterns, and put them on Unicron's ring. So that's
that'd be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got Diecast.
I'm barely awake.
Yeah, you need. So Diecast, I do not encourage abuse of any type of
abuse.
Yeah, abuse of any type of substances. Like caffeine. Hold on, let me get some energy drink here. 1 second. Oh, let me take a caffeine mint real quick. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I don't think caffeine level is Diecast's problem.
Well, remember Diecast when he Diecast is not like a smoker or a vapor, but he was doing like the caffeine vapes for a while, and it was in a way it was interesting. You still have them; those have to be expired.
I still have them.
They have to be expired. That was like 10 years ago,
probably.
But yeah, so just maybe just get like a caffeine pump straight to your heart or something. He's vaping his caffeine.
Oh, maybe it'll help for a few minutes, or it'll kill him a little faster.
It's kind of funny. So with JD wasn't a smoker. I think he might have been in his 20s. But it was funny, like when vaping became a thing, he enthusiastically joined up just to do it. I think he was an interesting fellow.
Yeah. If smoking looks cool, vaping is looks 1,000 times.
Smoking doesn't look cool.
Man.
Smoking hasn't looked cool since the 40s.
Vaping and it's just this pool of smoke, like they're a dragon. I mean, come on, that's like kind of cool.
Yeah, like since World War II, I don't think smoking has looked cool. Yeah, don't smoke, kids. Don't do drugs. Just say no.
Maybe like the early 60s at the latest.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Johnny Cash smoking looked pretty cool.
I'm just thinking, I got the image in my head of early 60s TV shows and movies with military presence in them, and the commanding officers usually have a cigarette or a cigar, and that's it's a big part of the image that they're projecting there. And
Ray smoked a pipe and a cigar, but
yeah, pipes aren't cool.
I don't know, pipes.
No, pipes are that's dad imagery.
Dennis the Menace's dad. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Matt. Matt's here.
Yes, I'm here as long as my internet works.
I'm sorry for wasting your time with this conversation about nothing related to Transformers.
I'm not sorry.
Rob.
It's kind of a shame we got off on this tangent after Diecast said he was barely awake, because I was just going to say me too.
Yeah, sorry. Again, just so you know, except for caffeine, which is a perfectly useful substance.
It's not illegal yet.
In certain, well, I don't know if it's, yeah, well, never mind. So
there are quantities of caffeine that it is illegal to own.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I guess you could do nefarious things with it.
Yeah.
I haven't reached that limit.
You need like you need licensing to possess forms and quantities of caffeine.
Okay. I haven't gotten there yet. So I guess I have something to strive for.
One day you too will be able to own a vial of powdered caffeine.
You can buy that now. Or unless they change that. Never mind. I wouldn't want that because it's dangerous. That is dangerous. Okay. Hey, next weekend is TFCon. And has
Next weekend?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So fast.
Yeah, and also Hasbro PulseCon, is that what we're calling it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PulseCon.
PulseCon. You know, I was thinking back to HasCon and the concert with Flo Rida, and how he had the customized song where he threw in HasCon into it. I would love to hear him try to do the same thing with Hasbro PulseCon. I don't think he could do it. I don't think it would fit into the rhythm of his song. You know,
just have to work on it a little bit more.
We should do like corporate events, podcasts, and I have to fit in the name of the. It's like, hey, you're listening to Radio Free Cybertron, and we are at Johnson & Johnson.
That seems like less of a challenge, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's in Jersey, so
money
I
would
could
be
go
nice.
with that.
Yeah,
That's not a far drive.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Radio Free Cybertron with our host, Service Merchandise.
Procter & Gamble. Okay. So yeah, so that's going on. If there's any news worth talking about, Chris will do maybe a live stream or something after, or the very least.
Well, I mean, I can't live stream, but I can participate in a live stream.
Yes, or or we'll have a news desk or something, or both. I don't know.
If there's news to talk about, it will be talked about, and just the format of that will depend on what and when.
Yeah,
I'll hopefully be drunk, so count me out.
Do they do free booze still at TFCon? I forgot.
No, that was only at Charlotte. That was the best one.
It was the best one.
Yeah.
That was before I lived in Charlotte or outside of Charlotte. Man, I still wish I lived. I wish
technically it was in Concord, right?
Yeah, I mean Concord. Yeah, it's a suburb. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, you could tell by all the grape jelly that was there.
Yeah, Concord's a suburb, just like BotCon 2015 was in Chicago.
Well, Concord is like 10 minutes out, not an hour out. Yeah.
Although, I mean, those hour out is still considered Chicago suburbs. So
I mean, like driving.
Even TFCon Toronto is in Mississauga.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not Canadian, so we don't know the difference.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Like O'Hare is Chicago is huge. Like O'Hare is the size of many cities, larger than most cities I've been in. So.
But
is that including the airstrips or just the terminal?
Like just driving the entire complex. Like I'm used to the Charlotte airport where you drive for a minute, from the outer complex to the terminal.
Yeah, and Nashville's airport isn't even that big.
Oh no, yeah, Nashville's airport's tiny.
For considering itself an international airport, it's surprisingly small.
O'Hare is like driving through a town until you get to the terminal. It's substantial. But yeah, so no matter what happens next week, if there's news, we'll talk about it. Hey, so
I'm expecting we will get finally the proper official reveals of the last remaining Kingdom stuff that we don't have official reveals for, and probably some kind of preview look at legacy toys.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually jump to a news item here real quick and sort of
breaking form.
Breaking format. So the Hall of Fame voting popped up, which was weird because I guess one, it was unexpected, and two, it just didn't make sense when you actually look at the ballot, because there are characters on the ballot that are already in the Hall of Fame. But doesn't it in the toys that should be inducted in the Hall of Fame, I think it has stuff that hasn't been announced yet.
It does. I noticed that as well when I was voting yesterday.
Is it Slant? No, I mean, which one?
Slammer, Pipes, Tigatron, those are not out or technically announced yet.
Tigatron.
Oh, Tigatron might be thinking pre-order. Yeah,
Hasbro Pulse had it up for pre-order. Yeah, so
yeah.
Slammer and Pipes.
But Slammer and Pipes for sure.
That's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I voted. I need a sticker.
Okay, so who did you vote for Best Kingdom toy?
Optimus Prime.
Even though it's an Earthrise toy?
It's an Earthrise toy. But of all the toys here, if I had to put one in the Hall of Fame, I told the Hasbro designers, you're not going to do a better Optimus Prime than this one at this price point ever. So you're going to have to go Commander class to do something bigger. And I think it's true. I think of all of those toys, I mean, they're awesome. Scorponok's great. No, never mind. That's Kingdom. There's a lot of great toys in here, but I think the best toy, the most iconic toy, is the Kingdom Optimus Prime, even though it's Earthrise.
Well, I voted for Cyclonus because it felt like the overall best toy execution that's original to the Kingdom.
I love Cyclonus. I mean, when I reviewed it or talked about it, I mean, I in a lot of ways I think it's almost the perfect toy. But I also think that Kingdom Optimus Prime, Earthrise Optimus Prime, is almost a perfect toy too, and it's also more iconic. So,
well, I picked the Arc.
Oh, good.
I mean that's a very fair and understandable choice too. More so, I would say, than a rerun of Earthrise Optimus Prime. And then, of course, for the Beast Wars Season 1 character, I chose Rat Trap because I couldn't remember if Rat Trap was already in the Hall of Fame, but most of the other ones I would have voted for, I'm pretty sure were.
So, Knight's sort of saying that all have been announced via the official website. I mean, sure. That's a fair point. If they're listed as in a checklist form or something, that's fine.
I just want to say I chose Dinobot for G1.
Me too.
Just because he was the most interesting.
You mean Dinobot?
The most different character, just because he had so much evil in him, yet he switched sides.
And he's already in the Hall of Fame too.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He has been since the mid 2000s. Dinobot was maybe the first Beast Wars character that got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
So should I change?
No.
Well, I can't change my vote now, but knowing that, I think I might have picked differently.
I was at the Hall of Fame ceremony, I believe, when he was inducted. So, Scott McNeil got pissed off at something because somebody didn't get inducted. It was awesome because I forgot whichever character Scott McNeil's was not inducted, but he was visibly upset about it after the event. He walked off pissed off. That would have been Florida, so that would have been 2010. Yeah. So I guess Rat Trap was not inducted in 2010. I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, sorry. Random aside.
That's the show.
That's the show today. Random aside. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I just thought that was interesting. Something worth talking about. One, because it is a sad story, but also it is definitely relevant to Transformers. Hasbro's CEO Brian Goldner passed away 2 days after going on medical leave. He'd apparently been battling cancer. The article that I read didn't disclose what form of cancer. Since 2014. And, cancer sucks. I mean, it's probably, it's what killed my dad and my grandparents. It's horrible. And, we certainly pass along our condolences. But it'll be interesting to observe with Hasbro, what changes. Brian Goldner was the CEO that brought forth this, I guess, media transformation. We've joked for years that Hasbro seemingly wanted to be acquired by Disney. Whether that's true or not, it certainly looked that way. Especially again with things like HasCon, focusing more on the brands, less on necessarily the plastic that they churn out. So, my prior company went through a pretty huge transformation when the prior CEO of 14 years left. And a CEO change at a company can be hugely transformative and painful. So it will be interesting to see how this impacts Transformers. It will impact Transformers in some way. Just, we don't know yet, as to how, what that will be like. But yeah, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. And he was very successful.
Goldner was the CEO from 2008, and that was about the same time that Hasbro started their initiative to more focus on developing media properties than specifically being a toy manufacturer. So, that had to be an initiative he brought and pushed forward in the boardroom level. So, where Hasbro goes from here without that, the rest of the board might want to continue on that. It's going to not change too much, but all we can really do right now is just see what the future brings little by little.
Yeah, it'll be this sucks. The death of anybody is unfortunate. He was apparently a really good guy, and he worked up until 2 days before he died. That is dedication.
Yeah, if he was battling cancer for all that time and had stayed on the job, to take medical leave, then that's a sign things that started to go really bad for him.
Yeah.
So it was a shock to hear he had died, but then hearing the circumstances, it may not have been a surprise to his family, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, sad news. So we certainly pass along our condolences to the family and Hasbro. Very well regarded within the company by all accounts, and that is huge, really is. Let's see here. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see this. No, I did see this last week. So this popped up. So Chris, you put this in the show notes, I believe. This is from TFW. It is
the Raiden thing.
Yeah, the Raiden thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I made some separate notes here, so I didn't miss any important talking points. So basically, we might already have an indication of how big Masterpiece Raiden is going to be as a combined robot. Unfortunately, it's not going to be an answer anybody likes, probably. So Gamerlingo on TFW, who lives in Japan, was able to talk to someone in customer service at Takara Tomy. And they explained that the planned height for Raiden was going to be about 29 centimeters, which is about a foot tall. It's basically equal to a Combiner Wars Combiner or Siege Jetfire.
Yeah.
So let that
Masterpiece figures.
So let that sink in for a minute. So the people on TFW have been working pretty hard over the last week or so, trying to establish overall a size for Shoki based on the stock photos and everything that have been available. And so what they've got is a very strong case for the overall length of the train mode, which is actually going to be basically the same length as Raiden will be tall, 29-ish centimeters for the train mode. And from that, they could derive a robot height of about 7 inches. So what's interesting about this is, if you might recall from when I did one of the news desk posts about this, I speculated that Takara might be trying to get the train bots to match an existing model train scale. And it looks like I was right, and they're going for HO scale with this.
Okay, that's the most common scale in the U.S., right?
In the U.S., yes. In Japan, N scale is far more prevalent, which N scale is roughly half the size of HO scale. So HO scale is 1/87th. So the measurements they have from some of the stock images and some of the retail solicitations seem to match up between that and the real train car. And someone noticed that length of track that Shoki is seen to come with has rectangular indentations that seem to perfectly match the stand arm from MP44.
Okay.
So from that, they could get a really accurate sense of the size of that piece of rail, and could use that to further reinforce the scaling measurements. Yeah, it's some really great off-brand toy detective work.
Yeah.
So since they've started doing that work, there was also an article, a Japanese article published about Shoki and the Trainbot project itself. And I haven't read through the whole thing through machine translation yet, but passages I've seen do seem to indicate that the main motivation in designing Shoki was to represent the train as accurately as possible. Then give as much focus as they could to having a good robot come out of that. And implicitly, that would have the combined mode coming last in the overall priority scheme here. So the train bots being able to form a masterpiece Raiden seems to more be a bug and less a feature.
$200 each.
Also, you all failed to point out last week that basically the entirety of the side panels on Shoki's train are clear plastic that's painted over.
Well, I didn't notice that detail. I hadn't been able to examine them that closely, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
So, John, you pre-ordered it.
Sure did.
I'm sorry.
I did too.
I'm sorry for laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in that train also.
Train roll on down the line.
I haven't yet.
I picked my shots. I'm looking at it as an engineering milestone, or like a what would be the right term, Brian? It's like a footnote in history.
It's definitely a footnote in history.
So that's because I have a total of I don't know, 3-4 G1 masterpieces.
It's the beginning of a new epic for Masterpiece,
and the end likely. It's the beginning and an end of something.
If they get all the way through it.
It could be.
Yes, that's right.
I just look at them and I'm like, I have these Diaclone masterpieces right here that they would look.
We'll never get a Mirage or a Jazz.
But you'll get Starscream 4 and Soundwave 2.
Yeah, I almost put up my Downbeat for sale. That's like the one third-party Masterpiece toy that I haven't parted with yet, and I might just have to hold on to that one.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I've got Downbeat and I've got the Ricochet, the Target Master Ricochet version, and Takara would have to really wow me with something on a Jazz.
It is really nice.
I mean, I'd be willing to trade out if the figure actually does something better or cleaner. There's some actual tangible reason to switch out. These train bots, I'm not getting into what we did last week, but I'm just saying that's a lot of money and a lot of clear plastic with a track record, no pun intended this time, of QC issues. I'm very hesitant on ordering this.
Don, there's a lot of feedback on not on the call, but about your comments on that last week, and you scared a lot of people about this whole.
No, I'm sorry. It's just
not Don. It could be a service, so don't apologize.
Well, I'm just saying Takara's track record with masterpieces has been extremely
inconsistent.
It's been inconsistent, and now we're doing a combiner with known clear plastic and a combiner.
A lot of it.
So it's like I'm just now that there's another option out there at about half the price.
I mean, I'm not even talking options. I mean, I think with this, if me from the future came, from 3 weeks from now and said, Brian, you really decided that you just didn't want to risk it and you canceled the pre-order, I would totally believe it because I'm kind of on shaky ground.
Yeah, it's just that's just so much money to risk. If the last 10 Takara masterpieces were all 80 to 90% solid QC across the board with only maybe minor issues here and there, I'd be more relaxed to try it, or at the very least get the first one.
Yeah, I wish you had. Were you on the show, Don, when MPO9 came out? I wish you were, so you could have talked me out of it.
I don't think he was.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was at the time.
That's the only masterpiece where I really feel I got cheated.
That was 2010.
2010
right?
or 2011.
So Don's first appearance on the show was 2012.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and he wasn't a regular then. That was just like a BotCon guest appearance.
Yeah. That is a. I wish
fun,
somebody
though.
talked me out of that. Maybe I should just cancel this one.
I wish I had talked you harder into getting MP10
At
Convoy
BotCon.
at BotCon.
Yeah.
Before they could make the
I mean,
announcement.
if you're a Masterpiece fan and you have a good feeling about this,
I'm less a Masterpiece fan than I was 5 years ago.
Yeah, but this is a combiner, their first combiner. You really can't count Devastator because it's.
I don't.
I mean,
I do.
It's a combiner, but
As
not
a Masterpiece
of level.
I mean, it's
not
labeled
of
as Masterpiece in Japan, right?
Yeah,
No,
if
it's not officially.
Not official.
The designer considers it
Okay,
the
that's
closest thing to being Masterpiece
So
Devastator that
it's
they
the-
can
Because they
do.
weren't making Masterpiece combiners.
It's-
at the time.
And it sounds like it's going to be taller than Raiden when it's all said and done.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime that is sold as a Masterpiece?
No, it was Starscream and the giant Bumblebee that were the first movie masterpieces.
MPM 01 and 02.
Okay, but they were mainline in the
Yeah,
US.
they were leader class
Yeah.
toys in the Hasbro markets, and Takara was not selling their movie toy line in a way that was compatible with that.
Yeah.
So I think they reworked the deco on the toys a little bit to make them look fancier, and they sold them as what they were calling movie masterpiece toys. Which, if you think about the engineering complexity of Revenge of the Fallen toys, it's plausible.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I want to see how these figures progress, but I don't have enough confidence to.
Is that a new chair, Don?
No, this is the one I've always had. I've always had.
It's just squeakier than it was in your apartment. Maybe there's like some sort of like force field sound dampening thing at the other.
No, I'm on laminate and not carpet.
Oh,
That'll do
maybe
it.
that's something.
Yeah.
The whole house has done this laminate.
How old's the house, by the way?
Is it older than you?
84 or 88.
When it was made, or how old it is?
No. I mean, it was built. I think it was built in 88.
That's long enough to maybe get some creaky floorboards in there too.
Oh yeah.
It's not that kind of sound, but it's fine. Don can like get a mat sometime between now and next week when he's
let's spend
by
Don's
Walmart or
money.
something.
I just bought a house and I've got a big ticket item as an off-topic item, but I've got a big ticket item coming. So
yeah, but
that's called a baby. Don is going to have a baby.
A little rug cost like $10.
That's not possible.
Before we move on from this train
Anything
thing,
is
John,
possible if you believe in it, Don.
John, you made a good point in the Discord about the purpose of these train bots. I don't know if you wanted to toss it in here.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obviously as much for train enthusiasts as it is for Transformer collectors. It's like alternators, whether that's a compliment or an insult. But it's the same idea. It's this hybrid crossover thing, which again is like, for me, I mean, I don't have to defend pre-ordering this thing, but it is a reason. It's one of those other reasons why I look at it as an oddity, and why I'm more inclined to purchase this versus like Masterpiece Hound, which again, I dodged that bullet, so now I'm going to buy 6 bullet trains.
So Masterpiece Hound is great, but terrifying.
Well,
John,
that's Masterpiece anymore. But I wanted John to bring that point up because I think it's important to keep in context. These Masterpiece train bots make a lot of sense the way they're doing them for the market they're actually being produced for. Hasbro looked at Transformers as a global thing. Takara is still, their Transformers are very much focused on their local Japanese market, and if they can get sales from the rest of the world, cool gravy. But Japan culturally loves their trains. Model trains are still a huge thing over there, even though they're much smaller than even these train bots are scaled at. But focusing on the train part of this to an alternator's degree, which I thought was a really great point of comparison here, it makes sense. And the people who are into trains the right way and into Transformers are going to be all over this in Japan. It's just something that is not. It's not the same bullet points that would have been hit if it was being designed for America or Europe primarily. So, our reaction to this is very typical of how we are about trains in general. But for Japan, I think this is probably doing a lot better in market response.
Real quick. WillJack64 in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord is where you should be. Noted that we should put a mat in Don's Massey Attack wish list. So I just did tfradio.net/Massey Attack,
I hope you chose something hideous.
ATTACK. If anybody wants to help Don out.
Yeah. Now there is one thing I was going to ask John.
I
thought
about
this
pillow too, FYI.
I wanted to ask John this because I thought of it about after the show. To me, John, this is like, let's say NECA came out with, again, there's a price difference, but I think there's a parallel there. Let's say NECA came out with a 6-pack of turtles, the 4 main turtles, Venus, and Metalhead. I'm just picking 6 random turtles at name, okay?
Are there any more turtles than those?
Well,
Slash.
Yeah, Slash, yeah.
And all those. Let's say they came out.
But he's not a hero.
Yeah. But let's say they came out with a 6 turtle set with their reputation on their figures, and they were like the old Mutations turtles. Turtle, the Ninja Turtle, and they combined into the Turtle Bot. Would
Turtlebot?
you be well
the
he
Archie
just
comic? I would read that.
He's just making stuff up now.
That's what they did in the Archie comic
I remember there was a Turtle Bot somewhere. Anyway. It was that prototype party wagon that they never made, whatever. But I'm just saying, if NECA said that, with NECA's reputation of QC, would you have the same concerns of buying this set as a price points aside? I'm just saying parallels to parallel. Would you have the same concerns? Because that's what I'm seeing, just at 2 different price points.
Yeah, I mean, I would still, well, yeah, that it's an apples and oranges comparison. Because there's a lot of variables there. Yeah, see, the difference is if my NECA toy's messed up, I can just go get a refund at Target and tweet them, maybe get a replacement toy. If I get like a Shoki that is assembled upside down, turned around from Amazon Japan, adventure awaits. So and I'm out $200. So yeah, I mean the calculus is just so different.
But I mean, I see Don's point, and like I would have the same trepidation just for product to product before considering how you're going to resolve that problem once it lands on you.
I see Don's point too, but we've been talking about this too long, so let's move on.
Yeah, just real quick, that is the perils of buying a toy internationally when it's not necessarily intended to be an internationally sold toy. So like when you're hopping on Amazon Japan and buying stuff that Takara's like, what? Like we're selling stuff like that in Texas and California. That's weird.
The last thing I bought
they're also not equipped to handle issues like that.
The last thing I got off Amazon Japan, the only time this ever happened, was crushed. Absolutely crushed. Came in an envelope.
Oh.
And I went through the process of trying to return it. It was going to cost me like $40 just to ship it back at my cost. So yeah, I don't blame people for not importing.
I think they make you pay for the return shipping, and then once they get it and see that you were telling the truth, they will comp you for your shipping cost back.
I'm not gonna.
Anyway, speaking of internationally sold products where it's going to be a challenge to get QC issues resolved.
Oh yes, great news, everyone. So Victory Saber funded, which we knew, but it finished with 27,363 backers.
So when the backing period closed,
I would say actually units sold. I think that's units sold and not backers. I don't think that's.
Yeah, we'll say units.
Yeah, it's not individual people. But it's just how many.
But it's what they say on the site. So.
So when the backing period closed, it ended at 22,700.
It was I thought it was just short of 25. No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm right because I took a screenshot of it.
I was watching it as it happened. I took a screenshot too. Yeah.
So they added in about 5,000 more backed units subsequently, which would be collecting from non-real-time other backing avenues. So like Robot Kingdom was doing it possibly semi-officially for Southeast Asia, and other things like that. So like I don't think it's any kind of funny business thing, but like as of the end of the backing period in the U.S., it was just a 2,000 over for getting that last backing tier. But as it turns out, there was never any need to worry about that because there was thousands more waiting to be counted.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't squeeze in a 4th tier, but there was no financial incentive, I guess, for them to do that. So,
and given the tiers that we got, like, it would have just been something else mostly disappointing.
I want to point out I was correct with 25,000. I think I
Yes,
was the
you were
highest
closest
bidder.
without going over.
Yeah,
I said 25,000 is the high end.
yeah, but you had something. I think you had 15 as your realistic guess.
Yes, you backpedaled.
I no, you're right. I did backpedal. Yeah.
In our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, the day before the period ended, I said I figured probably when the backing period ends, it'll be at about 22,000, and I was correct for about 2 days until they added the other ones.
Yeah. So,
well, they were doing incremental ads through the campaign with this one, definitely, because I think we saw a jump like before the first tier. And then I think in between the first and second tier, we saw another jump where they added some numbers in.
And I think this was probably the most like consistent project that they've done. Like everything else has always like hit a plateau and stalled before having bigger jumps. But Star Saber just steadily climbed. It had stopped for a day or two here and there, but.
Yeah, I think those incremental ads that they did from the other sources, whether that overseas or where they came from, they really helped, and I think got people more excited when they saw that big 1,500 to 2,000 additional backers. Are like, oh, it's moving, let's back it.
Do we anticipate any Transformers HasLab project, if there are any more? I'm assuming there will be. Do we think that any could surpass 27,000? That's a huge number.
Yes, but I don't know what.
Don't ask. There's your problem.
I would say no, but I didn't expect Star Saber to hit 27,000.
I mean, I guess if there was something that was at a lower price point but more desirable, I guess it probably would be. But if that was the case, they would probably just sell it at retail.
Yeah.
I mean, again, who's to say what's desirable? Like I said, I didn't expect Star Saber to get this high. So
I mean, we should say too, 20,000 units is not a lot. But
I mean, numbers that I've heard thrown around as far as like number of retail units sold for Generations toys, I mean, 27,000 is a good sized fraction of what I've,
especially when you're talking about one character out of an assortment.
And for something that's going to be the equivalent-ish of a Commander class price point, Deluxes and Voyagers, there's going to be many tens of thousands of each of those made, but the Commander class stuff is there and gone in the course of a few weeks generally. So there's got to be a lot less of those made. So I don't think Victory Saber is probably too far off of, at least for one market's manufacturing total.
Yeah, and again for $200, right at $200. Not it's not Optimus Prime. I mean, to me, 27,000 is a pretty huge number for
a Transformers project, I would say. Yeah.
As to whether anything or not could go higher than that in the future, I think it would depend, like somebody said, how affordable it is, and also if Star Saber comes in and gets like positive reviews with not a lot of reports of QC issues or anything like that. If this, is not just successful in terms of number of backers, but in terms of overall customer satisfaction in the long term, I can see the next one going even better than this.
It could,
if Unicron, of course, was hideously expensive and had some fairly prominent issues as it went along. If they can build up like a just a good string of satisfied customers here from and good successful projects, I can see this picking up momentum as it goes.
Unicron had just basic general engineering concerns, just from the fact that it was going to be so large, and I'm still, I've still never transformed mine. It's laying in the floor of the bedroom.
Unicron has issues that we're all familiar with other toys, and just whether or not you think that's justifiable at $600 is up to you.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to for me.
I mean, Rob has a good point in they do need to make sure this is a solid release without any major QC issues, because even the
because I only ordered one.
Yeah,
same.
The Marvel Sentinel that a lot of people are receiving now.
The knee thing, yeah,
it has some
which
issues
is fixable,
with some
but
stability. On varying levels. So it is unfortunate, and I do agree that they need to come out, and I think this will have good QC. I'm not going to say I'm not going to don it and say that it's going to come out and be terrible.
But yeah,
well, it's not a Takara masterpiece, so that's that's a point in its favor right there.
Yeah,
I think it's going to come out and it's going to be great. And
I will say that in the future, if they wanted to charge us a little bit extra for some above average, more meticulous QC on these limited run things, is if they were upfront about that and saying, we are making extra sure that everything about this comes out right, and we're going to make sure that we set anything right if there's a problem, like above average, customer service and quality assurance on this, I'd be willing to pay a little extra just for that assurance if they could follow through with it.
The only thing is,
ideas to charge us more money.
Yeah. The only thing is, really, if we continue in the Japanese thing, there's only really sets, big characters. I mean, there's Death Saurus. Everyone's talking about when we get Death Saurus. I think I'm sure that's on a short list somewhere.
Well, we talked about this as far as like a prospect of what could be an option a couple weeks ago. I don't know that we need to retread it.
Well, I'm just saying, I think if they do anything to get these same numbers, it'll need to be a set of smaller figures. Like if they did a new version of Road Caesar,
Turbo Masters.
Yes,
I think Turbo Masters, to me, would be much more interesting than like a Road Caesar.
I would take a Road Caesar though.
Yeah, me too.
Given what I've heard about the big powered set that I skipped, and the fact that I skipped it, I would not mind if they took another tilted big powered through HasLab.
Absolutely.
I can't disagree with that either.
That should have been held off because that toy sucks, or that set sucks.
I mean, but Star Saber fully funded. It went past all 3 stretch goals, so I mean, this opens up all sorts of possibilities for Japanese stuff. And thank God, because if all Transformers fans can agree on one thing, it's that we need more G1.
Oh,
and
of course.
It seems like they are
Hi,
comfortable with Marvel, Star Wars, and Transformers for their HasLab projects, because that seems to be what they rotate between.
Well, it's the things that make the most sense. I mean, they are going to hit basically the same problem that exists with Titan class at regular retail, which is just a diminishing pool of things that justify doing that. Star Wars, I think, has the best future ahead of it for that, because there's always vehicles that they can produce, which would be unsuitable for regular retail. Marvel and Transformers is going to be increasingly challenging as they keep trying to go along with it.
Yeah,
I want a Marvel Legends Ego the Living Planet.
If it is going to, does it come with a Kurt Russell, or to be the?
Sure.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
That can be a stretch goal.
We already got a Kurt Russell though in that 2-pack.
Yeah.
So,
well now they're just going to recolor Unicron.
Yeah. Okay. So what else we got to talk about this week? Going to move.
I don't even remember.
Oh, Beast Wars reissue Tigatron. I did not see this.
Yeah, so JT Prime uncovered a product code for that, and
sweet.
I don't know what the source of this part of the information is. Like it was also reported by JT Prime, but apparently, the containers of Tigatron are already in the country.
Oh, nice,
sweet. I mean, that's an easy one.
So for the Beast Wars reissues right now, there is the Cheetor and Rat Trap and the Optimus and Megatron that are already showing up in stores.
They're starting to warm the shelves of Walmarts around here.
So in my experience, they come in and within a day or two, they're gone again. So, mileage varies there, but I wouldn't be surprised. We also have heard that there is another wave of deluxes, which is going to be K9 and Cybershark. And then there is this Tigatron, which has a product code found. And there may be a reissue of Mega Scorponok, which has been redecoed to be a little bit more show accurate.
Interesting.
That would be neat.
We talked about
that's only turned up in a leak so far, so we don't really know much of anything about it that I've heard, but it seems to be out there and a thing that's going to happen. So I would be on board with getting that, because the vintage one I got secondhand was never in great shape.
I don't have a Scorponok, actually. In fact, I don't have most of my original Beast Wars toys. I got rid of a bunch of them years ago.
I mean, if you had an original Beast Wars Scorponok, it wouldn't be in good shape because that toy does not last in the original plastics.
And my original Inferno never pegged together at the crotch. It'd be great to have a pegging.
Wow,
crotch.
That was one of the opaque parts too.
Yeah. So we talked about Cybershark a couple weeks ago, right? As a rumor, was K9 part of that?
K9 and Cybershark came up at the same time, so we talked about one. It should have been both.
Okay. Get on,
man. If we're going this far with this, I hope we get. I hope they stick with it long enough that we get a new issue of Transmetal Megatron.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I really would like one of those.
It's a great toy, Donald.
I'm just wondering, for these Beast War reissues, are they looking at the molds that are still viable, or is there, or is there some plan of these? I mean, yeah, the molds have to be viable, duh. But I mean, is there some reason maybe these characters are going to be slightly prominent in the Rise of the Beast movie, or is it just literally what do we have laying around we can still use? I'm just wondering if there's anything other than that involved.
Probably just molds.
Rat Trap seems like it might have had some or all of the mold remade. I don't have a copy of the reissue to examine that, and even if I did, I don't know where my vintage one is for direct comparison. But that was something that was talked about a while back when we were first getting looks at these. I think Pterosaur is actually also on the list of upcoming stuff, which makes a little more sense because Pterosaur's mold was used as recently as Age of Extinction. So that seems like that would still be floating around out there. For the most part, I think it's just things that they know is still viable. I don't know if there's really any character link beyond that, because otherwise, why Cybershark and K9?
Honestly, these Paramount. Well, I guess it's now E1 or Allspark. What is it? Is it E1?
It's something.
I mean, but the character selection in the movies has never really made sense. The prior movies, the Bay movies. So I don't know that the character selection of a Beast movie necessarily has to make sense. So anything is open game, pretty much. Okay. So let's see here. Anything else around this? No. Okay, moving on. And that's it. That's it. That's all we have to talk about news-wise. Thank goodness, because we have a lot left to talk about with what we got this week, I'm sure.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So I was looking at my watch to see what time it is, and I realized my watch is charging over here. It's weird that we live in a time when you charge your watch instead of putting a new battery in it. It's so weird. Wait, okay, Grandpa, tell us about how you used to wind your watch. Okay. So, let me get some more caffeine real quick. I'm running low.
So the newest thing I found recently is Studio Series Gnaw.
I saw that. You haven't opened it yet.
Nice.
Yeah, ooh. I haven't decided if I'm keeping it or not.
Oh. What's he go for on the secondary market?
I don't know.
Oh. I like Gnaw. I think he's nice.
Why would you not keep that?
So okay, so I had a pre-order for Gnaw on Amazon, like I'm sure we all did. Then it turned up on GameStop showing as in stock one day. So I tried to place an order for it there. And then instead of shipping, it went on to awaiting product availability, which, I call BS on that because they said they had in stock, but that, went on for 2 or 3 weeks subsequently. And then I decided okay, this is too much of a hassle. I don't even care that much anymore. Like the whole GameStop thing kind of ruined the idea of Gnaw for me, so I canceled it and started thinking, okay, I'll just get it if I see it in the store. And then, some more weeks went by without seeing it in the store, and then one day I went to Walmart and saw the remnants of the same case that Gnaw is in, but no Gnaw, and figured I had missed it, which really put me off. And then yesterday or the day before, I forget now, because what is time anymore besides the fire in which we burn?
Thank you.
Had to get there before Matt did, specifically. But, I went and saw it, and it's just like, I haven't bought anything in a while. And I can always bring it back or pass it on to someone else if I decide I don't want it. So I'll just get it and see how I feel about it in a few days. And either I will end up opening it, or it will go, in the corner somewhere, and I'll forget I have it for 2 or 3 years. And, then I'll find it, and then I'll find it and be like, oh, huh. And then I'll go do something else and forget about it for 3 or 4 more years. Anyway, so, I got that. I also got a credit card statement for about $200 from Hasbro Pulse, HasLab. So that's pretty much the extent of my on-topic stuff. Off-topic, those who've been watching the show the last few weeks and who saw the episode, our patrons who saw the episode of History on the Fives that I was on as Rob's emotional support podcaster, will know I've been having some internet issues, which has been seriously degrading my audio and, when possible, visual quality. So I spent an additional $80, $90 getting another router. This one does not have a modem component. So we were on our second DSL modem router combo, which was an Action Tech, which we replaced the AT&T provided unit with several years ago. It's been having personality problems for a while, which just got to the point of being unusable. So I had to order what was available as another modem router combo unit, and it's complete garbage. Especially specifically the router, it's complete garbage.
I like TP-Link.
Yeah, the TP-Link one is not garbage. The garbage one is
no, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I like that.
This Netis brand.
I don't even know what that is.
Never even heard of them.
I can tell you exactly what it is. It's what was available in stock on Amazon the day I needed to order one.
I feel that.
So the thing with this basically is the Netis one has either really bad traffic prioritization logic or none at all. So what was happening with me for the last few weeks was it didn't really have a sense of what packets needed to go out first or, above all others, such as, say, video conferencing data packets. So it was basically all just getting bottlenecked up and was not going anywhere. So I'd had enough of that and decided to just get a regular non-modem having router in there and bridge the Netis thing using it just as a modem into the new router, and it's working much, much better, as you might be able to tell by being able to understand what I've said during the show this week, as much as you could ever understand what I've been trying to say during the show. So it was not cheap. It made me cry a little inside having to spend the extra money to do that, but my internet performance is so much substantially improved back to how I expected to be for the last 10 years.
Have you noticed the difference when it comes to things like just your normal download speed?
So download speed was not like a huge problem that I had with the Netis one by itself. But there was definitely, when I could monitor it fairly closely, there was definitely spikes in the speed up and down, but it basically averaged out over time. It's just, doing something like this or having a Discord call or something, averaging out over time is not going to give you a very good experience.
Yeah.
For someone who is just doing regular internet browsing and stuff like that, this Netis one probably would be fine. It's just for more data intensive stuff. I also suspect this Netis one is not designed with an internet connection as slow as mine in mind.
Possibly.
And possibly with more throughput, traffic prioritization would not be such an issue. But this TP-Link, I got this model specifically. It's the Archer C7 model because it was supposed to be good out of the box, but also there's 3 popular forms of custom firmware that are developed for routers.
Yeah, you can
Nice.
run tomato on
And-
that one, I think, can't you?
Tomato and at least 2 others. And yeah, I picked this model specifically because it was compatible with those custom firmware. So if out of the box it didn't do what I needed it to, I could try flashing the firmware and make it work that way. But I have not needed to take that step so far.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm immensely pleased with this and just alarmed at the amount of money that I have shelled out over the last 87 hours.
Mm,
That's all.
cool. Okay.
Thank
Who
you
else?
for your indulgence.
Matt.
Yeah, so I got another Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar, so I could make the four-wheeled,
Oh, nice.
the quad. So this is my third Wreck-Gar now because I have Wreck-Gar sitting on a motorcycle Wreck-Gar, and now I have a quad.
2.
And whenever the eventual Junkion gets released, I'm going to turn this into like a 6-wheeled monstrosity for it to ride.
Nice.
And I got 2 Studio Series 86 Gnaws.
Nice.
Do you like them?
I love them. They are just great. The fin is a little loose. I don't even know what the point of
it's
it
weird.
coming off is. Yeah. So
Maybe
so very, very strange.
manufacturing. Maybe it's a manufacturing thing.
I don't know. It's also kind of weird that the upper part of the shark head and like part of the back comes as a separate piece.
It's weird.
That you like slide in.
I like the toy a lot, but it's weird. Amazon did not deliver mine. They said they delivered it last week, and they didn't take a photo or anything.
Yeah, these came from CMD store.
Yeah,
These 2 did.
Amazon shipping me a new one.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of drift back and forth here between on and off topic. I got from the Marvel a couple years ago did a 3 3/4 inch line Marvel Universe, and I tracked down the Bill Foster Goliath out of that because it's an oversized figure, so he technically scales with Marvel Legends since his power is to grow.
That's funny.
So another classic Avenger. And a Studio Series 86 Gnaw.
Huh.
And I got from the Power Rangers flip headlines, I got Ninjor.
Okay,
cool.
so tell me about that. I've been curious.
He's actually got more articulation than I expected. The legs are pretty limited, but he does have like ankle rotation. And he moves with the shoulders. He's got wrist articulation. And just the flip head gimmick is just continuous. Like you don't have to reset it. You just keep pulling the trigger and it just keeps rotating.
Oh, that seems like a great fidget toy.
It really is. And he has the whole full-blown samurai mode.
Yeah.
Nice.
His sword does not combine with the scabbard though to make the staff weapon.
I've heard that.
I don't know why that was cut, but I'm super happy with this one. I got the last one. I'd actually passed up on this like twice in the past. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but I mean, he scales with the Lightning Collection stuff I already have, so he looks pretty good for standing with that. And a Studio Series 86 Gnaw.
That's lovely.
I made a trip to Ollie's.
Oh, cool.
And picked up just some random stuff because I had a 15% off entire purchase coupon. 15% off the entire purchase. Yeah.
Nice,
so I picked up random stuff. So I got another what's her name? Smashdown?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because I have my Smashdown standing on my female Autobot shelf, but I also wanted a hammer, like a Forge of Soulless for Alita 1 to carry.
What do you have it connected to?
That is the weapon from Soundwave.
Soundwave, yeah.
Ah, that's great.
Yes. It makes a
never would've
wonderful
thought to combine
handle
those.
extension. Yes. And they had a bunch. I always skip the MicroMasters, but now that Star Sabers coming out, I have some MicroMasters to put with him.
I skipped I already have them, But yeah, I saw them as well as like the Rung and Smashdown and all that, and I just skipped. I have enough of those.
Yeah, they didn't have the Rung or the Slither Fangs, or
they had plenty.
I'd have a ton of Slither Fangs.
They had plenty of Rungs and Slither Fangs, and I forgot who it was. They asked me, "How many do you have?" And I'm like, "More than Ollie's." So, but Ollie's had a lot. I have more. I have enough.
Yeah, and they had Marvel Legends too, so I picked up a White Rabbit.
Oh yeah,
Marvel
I saw
Legends
that.
Were like $10.
Captain Marvel was just $5. If you saw her, they had both versions of her, $5.
They had like 2 cases of just White Rabbit, which I mean, it's a really good looking figure.
Yeah.
And X Factor Cyclops.
Ooh, I already have that. Otherwise, I would have loved to have found that.
Yeah, also $10, and they had a couple of him too, but paint issues on a lot of the heads.
Mm.
Oh. And a Studio Series 86
I knew it.
Yeah. I think we all saw where that was going.
Yeah, and I got another Bandai model kit for Power Rangers. I got Gal Muscle Striker. I freaking love this thing so much. It is one of my favorite mechs. I mean, it's a rhino holding up a gorilla that punches you with bears. And it can kick an armadillo at you. I love this mech. It is just
Tokusatsu means you never have to say you're joking.
Yes, it is outrageously beefy.
That's
and
great.
It is fully compatible with the Gal King stuff too. And what's interesting is I thought whenever they said that they were trying to get all the power animals out, that like it was a translation thing and they were just like going to do like the main 5 and maybe 1 or 2 extra sets, but the instruction sheets are numbered. So Gal King was 1 through 5. Gal Muscle is 7, 8, and 9 for the bears and the gorilla. And then the armadillo and rhino is 16.
Okay.
So we've already seen, I think, solicitations for Gal Knight. So that's probably some of the missing numbers in there.
So I think 6 is probably the elephant, which
that would make sense.
Did not come with Gal King.
Does that mean the rest of them are for the ISIS Megazord?
10, 11, and 12 are probably Gal Hunter.
Right, we've seen solicitation for that.
Which would make 13, 14, and 15 probably the deer, the giraffe, and the falcon. Which would then take us up to 16 for the
armadillo. And yeah,
costly.
Yeah, why do you think I didn't get started on this?
And that, I mean, if they're going that far, who's to say they won't do Gal God too? And that'll take us up to 21.
I mean, that's like a perfect premium Bandai thing, honestly.
Yeah, and I think the show's anniversary is coming up too. So if they want to, sneak out something special, Gal King would absolutely do it.
I think this is the anniversary year for Gal Ranger.
Yeah, it was 2001, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And Studio Series 86 Noah.
Nice.
I think Matt's just showing the same one over and over again. I think he's trying to.
Hey, nice.
Amazon did ship mine, Brian.
Did they already had the Covert Agent Ravage on Hasbro Pulse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking. They've rearranged things a little bit for Hasbro PulseCon. On the website, they have them listed as Covert Agent Rave.
Okay,
that's funny. Just going to Hasbro Pulse because somebody on Twitter just pointed out that there are new photos of Victory Saber.
Oh, neat.
And I'm looking for him, and I don't see him.
Okay, while you look, I can talk about what I got this week,
Please
which is
do.
not.
Yes, because I am done.
Okay.
So please go ahead.
Studio Series 86 Nah.
I was about to say you might find another Nah under a couch cushion if we wait long enough, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to start materializing in your house at this point. Just like you're going to become like a locus of Nas.
No, maybe these are new photos.
I have 4 more on order from Big Bad Toy Store, which would take me up to 10. That's where I'm drawing the line.
I only have 9 total,
This
counting
far.
what's on the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stick with the Titans Return one for the numbers purposes.
Yeah. Okay, so I got I think there's a copy of Metroid Dread waiting for me on the front porch at the moment, so I got that.
That's cool.
I've yet to open mine.
Yeah.
Did you get the new LED switch to go with it?
No, I'm sticking with my Monster Hunter Switch, and I have spent enough. Money on consoles for this year.
I don't need a new Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly play it on my TV anyway, so there's not a lot of point for me getting the OLED.
I would have one, but Walmart apparently doesn't want to ship it to me.
Walmart's like that.
Maybe it'll come with your Siege Netflix deluxes.
Yeah.
Possibly, yes.
Like these are all just getting shunted into an alternate universe or something. That's where that's going. There's like another diecast somewhere that can't get a third-party toy to save his life, but is getting all your Walmart orders.
Yeah. Where do these come from?
But okay, so the other thing I got is I needed free shipping on something I wanted to get today, so I got the Gundam Infinity Gundam Astray Red Frame to fill out that get up to that $35 for free same day shipping. It's really interesting because it is about the same size as the MS in Action Astray Red Frame. But in terms of just construction, articulation, how it treats accessories and everything, it is like the Astray Red Frame, for reference, came out in 2003 or 4. Everything else about this is like an MS in Action from 1999. It's got single hinge joints. It's got one set of hands. They are ball jointed, but they're not ball jointed in the good MS in Action way, where the socket is in the hand and the ball is mounted to the wrist. Just normal ball joints for the hands. The beam sabers on the backpack are fixed. They do not have blades. They do not come off. They're designed apparently to be like interchanged and swapped around. They're trying to tie this into Gundam Breaker Mobile, and that is something that people used to like to do with their MS in Action figures. But it's just so weird because compared to what I know Bandai can do and did like 15, 16 years ago at this scale with PVC, these are just such a weird step backwards, because this is, like I said, this is like, there's a few places where they're better than the figures that Bandai put out in 1999. I'd say the sculpting is a little bit better. The ankle articulation's a little bit better, but they're so similar to MS in Action, just not my favorite end of the MS in Action production line. It's a really weird product to handle. I think in terms of this basic scale, G-frame is going to remain my go-to. But if you want to have a look at these, they're not that expensive. If you want to, it's like $12.99 a piece on Amazon. So not unreasonable, I think, considering what they are. And also, they do come with a Build-A-Figure. I'd have to get like 4 more of these to put a Zaku together, and I'm not sure about that yet. But kind of thinking about it in the future, but not sure. But it's, like I said, it's not bad. It's just I know better 4.5-inch figures are more than possible, because they were possible 15 years ago or more. But that's it's interesting though. So I'm like I said, just really kind of weird of what a Time Warp thing is. But that is what I got this week.
Cool. Who else?
I got something.
Okay.
I did it, Don. I went to Target with my friend Rob today, and Target has a $25 off your $100 toy purchase. So I got Bunny Prime because he was basically $100 with the $25 off. So I went on Big Bad Toy Store right away and ordered the upgrade kit for it.
What's the upgrade kit do?
The upgrade kit gives him new arms to not make him a bunny anymore.
They're kitty ears.
So then what is he at that point?
A truck.
Is there something wrong with that one?
So the NPM has 2 triangular panels.
I've got it. Yeah.
That stick up, and they shouldn't in the truck mode.
He's Bunny Prime.
Oh, I was thinking of the stacks. Okay, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
the stacks are weird to me, but my eyes go to the stacks and not the panels. Okay.
So yeah, that's I wasn't gonna get it, but and then you guys got this a while ago. I got Jolt from Amazon.
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you got it.
I saw that at Walmart.
Maybe I did get it. I didn't intend to if I did.
Yeah, he's a Volt. He's a Volt that's a Jolt. So he's kind of cool. He's blue. And then luckily Amazon also shipped my nulls. So I got 3 nulls, which I'm very happy about because the last time we went to a convention, Matt ran around and bought all the nulls before I could get to them. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's that? So I don't have to worry about that at TFCon next weekend. That's it.
Okay, let's see here. Who else?
Don's raising his hand.
Yeah, I'll go. A lot of random stuff. I'll keep most of it real short. Went to Target. Not much there. So I checked the clearance section, and strangely enough, there was a Earthrise wheeljack marked down. And I took it over there and had them scan it, and it scanned at regular price, but they let me have it for the clearance price. So I got the Earthrise wheeljack. I got the RX-78-2 from Gundam Universe. I wanted one of those just to kind of have on the shelf and see how it did. And they also carry a line of action figures that had a Buffy Vampire Slayer figure marked down on the clearance as well.
Who made it? Is that a NECA?
No, it's by the same company that you see at Walmart in their collectible section in electronics.
NECA?
There's a Gandalf and a Spike Speed. There's a Gandalf and a Spike from Cowboy Bebop. They've done
Mego?
Full Metal Alchemist Brothers.
That's a weird line.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of interesting characters, but there's like, other than the two brothers from Full Metal Alchemist, there's like no, yeah. But basically, I got all that for like $25. Then I did some Dononomics, and I was able to pick up another. Switch windows here. Sorry. The Universal Studios Megatron in the that gray paint. I wasn't going to open this and just have him in the box.
How much was it, Don?
With the work I did on this,
how much was retail? What's retail?
Actual retail at GameStop is $52.
I think I paid $100 for that when it was up for pre-order like last year or the year before.
Yeah.
I got it ripped on that.
Yeah, and I got it for about $30. So that way I've got one to open and one to keep in the box. Because I just love that look on him with that paint and everything. Well, maybe it's not plat, whatever. But now I got one to open and one to that. The thing I really wasn't planning on getting, but I'm glad I got, no one escapes the sweeps. Apparently that includes me.
Nice.
Oh.
So I wasn't planning on getting them, but I thought, well, I've seen pictures of them side by side, and there's enough visual difference between Scourge and the sweeps that on a shelf, it wouldn't just be 3 sweeps. So you could actually think without squinting your eyes and like, yeah, I can kind of see it, so I may get one more. So that way I've got Scourge and plural sweeps. But I got that off of GameStop, and I was checking there a while ago, and I think they're still available.
Oh, cool.
Scourge is $2 cheaper. Just saying.
I think I already have 2 Scourges, so maybe I should just get one sweep.
Uh-huh.
Where, Matt?
I don't know if Big Bad still has them in stock or not.
I don't know what I have, so maybe I should just hold off.
Because I'll be honest, I bought a figure with the sweep to get the free shipping, and then I sold that figure on eBay and made about an $8 profit. So that kind of helped pay for the sweep too. So that's
Hey Don, you want to come to my house and go through my toys and then sell all my stuff for me? I'll cut you in like at 10%.
Brian?
8%.
Yeah.
I have enough to do on my own, and you haven't seen pictures of the downstairs or the 2 storage buildings I have left.
I want to.
This is just the boxes I labeled upstairs when I was packing.
Sean and Joey started going. They at least once went to Sean's storage building and started to do videos and stuff as he unpacked. I have not seen another one of those videos, so we need to get that straightened out because I want to see more videos of Sean going through his stuff. So, just saying. What else? What else, Don?
Oh, it's been I shouldn't be buying this stuff with just buying a house.
I get it.
But here's the thing. I've been so tired and so stressed, and between work and moving and unpacking, I just tomorrow is like my mental health day. So I'm going to sit down. I want to listen to some music. I'm going to work in this room at the pace of a snail. Cool. I may even order a pizza to do it.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh,
John.
Ham and pineapple.
John, do you have anything?
I got a lot of things that everyone's already talked about. The only thing I think I haven't gotten, or I have gotten that no one's talked about yet this week at least, is I did find Shadow Panther and Waspinator. I just opened Waspinator like 3 minutes ago. So, because he's probably the most interesting, I guess, or notable one that no one's talked about, and I hadn't opened him. So I was going to not do that and have something to talk about. So my very initial thoughts on him are he's really nice. The head sculpt is excellent. Paint job on mine is good on his head. So I mean, I'll give him credit. They did a lot of pretty intricate paint apps on his head, especially considering these days, a toy in 2021. One thing that I did notice, at least on mine initially, is his torso like compresses and snaps together, like lots of Transformers do. Mine doesn't really like hold, so his torso kind of just swings back open, which is a bummer. But I'll see if I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. So anyway, watch out for that. It doesn't look like maybe all Waspinators like snap into place in robot mode like they're supposed to. Other than that, I like him. He's neat. I really don't want to give this take because everyone gives this take. I'm sorry. I have to say it. He feels kind of small. But I know that's just a tired take. I'm just being honest.
Hey, be honest. You be you.
He's petite, but there's nothing wrong with that. I love Transformers for their various sizes.
Me too.
So yeah. So he's smallish. Anyway. He's a sweet little boy, but little. So, and then I got Shadow Panther, which everybody's already talked about.
I haven't. I don't have you.
Cheetor form. Anyway, so yeah, Waspinator, great. I do like him. I think every time people do a comparison between like these Kingdom remakes and the toys that came out 10 years ago, that we feel like came out like 10 months ago. Usually the Kingdom ones are much more favorable looking than we realize. I've seen a lot of comparison pics between this Waspinator and Anniversary Waspinator, and you could argue, I guess it's a lateral move, or there's plus and minuses to both. But I definitely feel like this is a pretty sweet little toy. I wish his torso worked as intended, but I am pretty happy with him. He looks really solid. And other than that, the only other thing I got was I did go ahead and open up my Road Rage. Her QC is better for sure. Still the Trax mold, but definitely.
Don't say anything bad about Road Rage because I want to say something in a second.
So I got that. Enough said. And then final thing is I did also open up last Friday my NECA Goliath. It's off topic. And tonight during recording, the NECA dropped pictures of one of their upcoming Gargoyle releases that has the one thing that everyone has been complaining about with this first release of Goliath, and that is folded wings. The Bronx, the gargoyle dog comes with the wing cape for Goliath that everyone's been clamoring
That
for.
sound that everybody heard on the podcast but have no idea what it was Don taking something off his shelf and showing it on camera.
It's the sound of
the
Don
Velcro closure for the box.
Okay.
Yes,
I
the
didn't
sound
have the
of,
button pushed down.
Goliath's box.
Well, it certainly came through.
So
Don,
anyway,
you might not be on your headset microphone tonight. That might be why your audio is coming out the wrong place.
But you know what? He sounds good, so let's not jinx it.
and then my only
don't fix it,
comment-
Don.
Oh, I think he is coming
comments-
through his webcam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don's coming through his webcam, but you actually sound good, so don't jinx
it hasn't been bad, Don. So don't
Yeah,
fret.
you're
Sorry,
fine.
John.
Don't sweat it.
So
Yeah.
my only I'm pulling him off you, Don. I'm pulling him off the dog pile. Anyway, my only comment on Goliath is he is I think $40, something like that, $35 to $40. He is an incredible value. Like his wingspan is 18 inches, maybe something like
What
that.
about his pounce?
And his height is he's as big as a leader class transformer. So really good value, gigantic box, which you heard. And so I'm very happy with that purchase. And again, NICA has shown us that yes, we will be getting the wing cape sold separately. So I'm happy about that.
Cool.
That's it.
I'm gonna go off topic for a second and actually ask John a question. Triplet tweeted at me last Tuesday or Thursday, I guess, about the new Arcade 1-Up Ridge Racer.
Oh
cabinet.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I will admit that it sent me to YouTube to watch a 5-minute playthrough of Ridge Racer, maybe the first track.
I love that. Ridge Racer
It gave
Revolution
me the feels.
or Ridge Racer 2 is my
Yeah.
favorite racing game of all time.
Ah, man.
And there are 5 games on this cabinet.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. It hit me in a play. My video game nostalgia has not been exhausted like Transformers. Is just my Transformers nostalgia button has been mashed for the last 20 years. But stuff like this, oh my gosh, I didn't know I had that nostalgia.
It might be the first Arcade 1-Up cabinet that I get at retail price and not on clearance.
You just gotta have it.
What games does it have, Brian?
Ridge Racer 2. You had to ask Donnie. Let me get. So it's all 32. I think it's all 32-bit stuff. Hold on. So
I think so.
Racer Arcade 1-Up. So, and Don, while I look this up, I just want to say I think it's very charming to think that you've been on your webcam mic all night and you've been pressing the button to talk, and you've had no reason to do it.
Yeah, speaking of mashing buttons.
Okay.
But no, I would say this
They announced the Tron cabinet too, Don. Just as a heads up, that was announced.
Tron cabinet, and then another thing. I think they had 3 cabinets.
Oh, Don just
Well,
he's
now-
calmed.
Is it the discs of Tron or?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I think it's.
It'll be both.
I know. So I know.
Okay,
I hate being nostalgic. I hate.
Okay, so-
I'm just hope they don't do an Atomic Runner or. God, I would kill for Atomic Runner.
Okay, so the games that it has on it, these are the arcade versions. So Ridge Racer 2, which was, I guess, modified and released as Ridge Racer Revolution on the PlayStation, and Rave Racer, which is, I think, heavily modified and released as Rage Racer on the PlayStation. Ace Driver and Ace Driver Victory Lap. That's 5 games, 3 of which I love dearly. So I think I'm gonna have to do it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, real quick, when I started that YouTube video, just heard the sounds. Brian.
I love the music. Ridge Racer
sounds.
music.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really there are very few games that the music means a lot to me, like Castlevania. But Ridge Racer, those tracks like Rotterdam Nation and stuff, that's one of the few games where I actually remember the names of the music. And I really, really love Ridge Racer, so I'm gonna have to get that.
Just to mention the Tron cabinet again for a second, I was saying on Twitter when Chris Triplett brought it up that I've seen a few of those cabinets in my life, but it'd been well past when they were introduced, and I was not aware that originally that joystick lit up.
I owned that cabinet, and I didn't realize the joystick lit up. So, yeah, I got a Tron cabinet for $5 at a thrift store. I forgot it's one. Oops, it's one of the major thrift stores chains. I just can't think of the name of it. It's not Salvation Army. It's one of the others. Or it's not Goodwill. It's like the third one. But yeah, so the guy, I asked him how much it was. He looked at it. He didn't have a price. Said $5, and I'm like, no, really, how much is it? He's like, no, just take it for $5. I'm like, sold. It didn't work. I always planned to fix it up. But yeah, $5. It literally just sat in the kitchen in my apartment for years until I sold it for $50. The guy actually ended up getting
profit.
it. Yeah, the guy who bought it.
Good Dononomics, at least.
Yeah, it has been restored since. Okay, so
cool.
The stuff I got, I'll be quick.
Yeah, we're almost out of time.
Yes. Road Rage came, and so it occurred to me as today that I was looking at the date. I'm like, oh crap, this is our 22nd anniversary episode. We should probably give something away. So I happen to have 2 Road Rages. So if now, if you're listening to this and episode 749 hasn't come out yet, you still have a chance to win. Basically go to our Instagram at TF Podcast, look for the picture of Road Rage and like it, and you will be entered into a drawing and we'll announce the winner next week. And yes, it is open worldwide. Our contests always are.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you are interested in Road Rage, just follow us on Instagram, like that post. That's how I know you've entered, and we will let you win. Or not let you win, we will put you... I need sleep and caffeine. And you'll be entered in. We'll put you in for a...
I'll say somebody really it's a great prize. Somebody will be really happy with that. She looks amazing.
She looks great. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm not opening it. She looks great. So John, I had this last week and I completely forgot about it. I missed it. John had sent me a link to an eBay item like a month or 2 back. And it's like, look at this. And I bought it immediately. It's a GoBots laser disc. It's Dutch, so I can't watch it. I got a laser disc player. I could watch it, but it's not in English. It is.
Well, you haven't experienced GoBots until you've had it in the original Dutch.
It's so cool. I knew he was going to buy it.
Yeah, I did. I bought it immediately. Funny thing is, it was new old stock. It's sealed. As soon as I bought it, the seller posted another one, so I guess he had a stack of them. I found out finally that I overpaid for it, but I can live with it.
Oh, you can live
because
with
I can live with it. But it's sealed. I'm happy with that. There were no comps online. I found on a Laserdisc forum like what it sold for in the past from collector to collector, and I paid a little more than that, but I can live with that. I don't have anything really that cool this week. So the guys had earlier on had been getting. I think Rob picked up one and Chris picked up one. Relatively inexpensive Legends Overlord, and I did not luck out and get into that deal, but
I never did get it.
Oh
no, we got I got full
Star
price
Convoy.
Hasbro Overlord. Yeah, it was the Star Convoys we got kind of cheap because I only have Hasbro Overlord, and that we got Rob collectively, I think, an Overlord for Christmas or his birthday one year.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the funny thing is, I hosting the Transformers podcast. I should have realized this, but again, my memory sucks. I was thinking that Mega and Giga were Power Masters or Prime Masters, not the Titan Masters. So their faces. I thought it came with basically 3, like a face for Overlord and then the Power Master engines. They're just alternate faces, but it's cool, and it wasn't that much.
Yeah, so what they did for this, different from the Hasbro one, they made inserts for the chest compartments with engine details on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there if you want to display it that way, but it is still functionally a headmaster, and so Sky Shadow and Overlord had different Titan Master molds, and they put a new face on one of those. They used Titan Master body molds, and they put a new face on for the Mega in Control version. So yeah, there's 2 variant faces in there, and besides that, it's the engines and the compartments, and then just deco changes.
Yeah, it's still very nice though. It seems to have way more paint apps than the.
Yeah, because this is Legends
Yeah.
when Takara was still doing Takara things with redecorating the toys.
Yeah. Also, Robin, I love knockoffs, like, crummy old school knockoffs, not, theft. So he had mentioned that there was at least Optimus Primal, maybe Megatron as well, knockoff on Amazon, and I basically found it and ordered it, and it's Mice Warriors, Deformation, Beast Wars, come and protect the peace of the city together. I thought it was bigger than Optimus Primal, but it's just that Optimus Primal is so much bigger than modern toys that I just forgot how big he is. He's pretty much the same size. I cracked it open, and it feels like something you'd buy from Dollar Tree.
Nice.
The quality, it certainly costs more than Dollar Tree, but the quality is so poor, and they've re-engineered a lot of things and simplified it. Now, there's certain parts that have been combined into one mold element instead of multiple. Some joints have been simplified. It's such crap. So I cannot recommend that you buy it, but it's definitely out there. So Mice Warriors. Hey, and a small plug, if you are looking for some Transformers, if you're not going to TFCon, check my Twitter because I'm selling some duplicate stuff, including I'm divesting myself of NECA Turtles. So I'm in my one Hot Toys item. So if anybody is interested in any of that stuff, at BKilby on Twitter. But right now, I want to thank our patrons at the Touch tier. And for you folks, Rob has been doing a great job with History on the Fives. That's a podcast that's exclusive to patrons. But if you're on the Touch tier, you can actually be on the podcast. And we post that podcast weekly. We post the RFC pre-show weekly as a podcast exclusive to patrons. We also have a monthly podcast that we're catching up on. So now currently it's twice monthly, called RFC Throwback, where it's a very free-form podcast. We segments and stuff. It's kind of funny when you do a show for 22 years, or off and on for 22 years, I guess total like 17 years. People are like, hey, why don't you do this? Well, we did that for 5 years, 10 years ago. It's like, hey, why don't you do like segments on the show where you talk about something? Because we talked about everything that we could possibly talk about like 10 years ago. And, like the show's sort of settled on this format, but it still changes a little bit. Throwback is much more like the old version of RFC, where the content, it's much more focused on a specific segment, topic, whatever. And it's a little more free form as to what we do. So if you liked RFC years ago, or if you're like, hey, why don't, you do this? We do that. We did it 15 years ago. There's not a whole lot that we, haven't done over the last.
But now we're doing it again with real sugar.
But now we're doing it again, and you can pay for it on our Patreon at patreon.com/TFradio. So we have that. But I want to thank our patrons at the Touch tier. Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, Mike Mallory, Jay Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton or Boomer, Spider Bob, Black and White Now in Color, or Frank, Nate Wilson, Cybertron Toys, Tyrell Gwynn, Paul Schreiber, and Sterling. Thank you all so much. You're awesome. We have more patrons at the Touch tier than anything else. So you guys are smart. We have smart patrons. But we post a lot of, like, RFC is always going to be free, but we have a lot of content out there that is on our Patreon. And I need to plug it more. I really need to plug it more, especially as things get more expensive. God, it costs a lot to actually do stupid stuff that we do for the podcast. But, patreon.com/TFradio. And we also have our Amazon link at tfradio.net/Amazon. If you buy anything, you can use that and buy stuff, and it helps us out. Okay. Let's see here.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, Don.
Sorry, I just want to cut in. I was just had an email come in from HLJ, and their Shuki is right now marked down from 173 to 156. Now, I know that's going to be overseas shipping as well, but maybe something that relatively light will be, because that's about 50 less than everywhere I've seen in the U.S. listed so far. So I just wanted to put that out there in case that does help anybody make it. It doesn't help me, but I want to just put that out there if that helps somebody.
Cool. Hey, real quick, just because I'm looking at our YouTube chat as well. Thank you, Don. I just want to, I don't want to start a new conversation, but our pal Action Figure Expert said, "Hey, what if the passing of the CEO causes Hasbro to stop the things like doing new HasLab projects?" And our buddy Jared is like, "Hey, I don't think it'll change. His passing wouldn't necessarily incentivize Hasbro to stop that." Totally true. His passing wouldn't necessarily. But again, I just want to point out, a new CEO can drastically change things. I have one experience where, things like HasLab would be considered a project. Things that you do are considered projects. We had, I have experience of a new CEO coming in and reducing the number of projects in place by 95%. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some restructuring there, but absolutely a new CEO could impact the HasLab existing in the future. Not saying it will, not at all, but could it? Of course it could. So, yeah, new CEO, new direction, that could really change things dramatically. So,
yeah, because the new CEO can come in and say, "Hey, let's restructure. Let's focus on what we're good at."
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what the CEO would probably do. Hey, let's focus on what we're good at. The board has to agree, but the CEO has a lot of leeway for things like that. So absolutely, things could change dramatically. So Jared's like, "I know all too well how a CEO can change or help or hinder a company." Cries in Thomas fan, he said. Oh, I love that. Okay, so we are on Twitter at TF Radio. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/TF Radio. Instagram, TF Podcast. Like us and follow. And details are out there for how to potentially win a road rage. We're, of course, at tfradio.net. That's where everything is at. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube. That would be lovely. I'm on Twitter at bkilby. And on Instagram at Brian Kilby. And you can find all my other crap at briankilby.com. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2, on my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and also they can see some reviews on tfradio.net/reviews.
Cool. John.
That John D everywhere.
Rob.
I'm on Twitter at Rob Flails, which is the official Twitter for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel. I mostly cover Gundam games, especially Gundam Battle Operation 2. That is, oh geez, I got to render the rest of this week's G generation. But yeah, Gundam Battle Operation 2 updates Wednesday nights into Thursday morning. So, check about probably 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on youtube.com/flailthroughs to see what they added to the game this week. And last week was the Byerland Custom, which is really fun to use. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw a couple bucks at me and request specific rounds in Gundam Battle Operation 2. And if you would rather just send me a thing of some sort, tfradio.net/playlist.
Cool. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC4 EVR.
Chris.
I'm personally on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. I do toy photography stuff. You can find some of that at playwithphotography.com or on social media at playwithphotos on Twitter. You can also help to support what I'm doing and, just show that you like me. You really, really like me by becoming a patron at patreon.com/playwithphotos for as little as $2 per month. And boy, it's been expensive, and some of that patron money will definitely be helpful in recouping some of those costs. I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist for other random acts of kindness you might wish to inflict upon me.
Cool. And Rob Springer not here. Rob Springer on Twitter. Zonebase.org. That's it. We'll see you next week.
Take care, buddy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh, no, it didn't record. I'm kidding. Hey, people watching live, we run long. We've got some stuff we have to take care of. So we're going to end the stream pretty abruptly. So I'm ending the stream first on YouTube's. By YouTube, we will see you next week. We love you. And by Twitch, I think we're streaming